Happy Tuesday, everybody. Coach Rachael Robart, your health coach and business mentor. Super jazzed today. We have a very special guest today. She's kind of a big deal, let's just put it that way, all right? If you guys are tuning in with me live, say hello. Let me know that you guys are on today. If you're catching the replay, please drop a 2 so we can give you a shout out. If you guys find this valuable today, I highly recommend that you guys share it out, share the love. Let's help people understand what ketosis is, what Shakeology is, and how living a healthy lifestyle can really improve your overall mental state of mind. So today we have Melissa McAllister joining us live in just a little bit here. And she is a nutrition expert with 20 years experience. The girl knows her stuff. She is going to be talking about ketosis, about Shakeology, and how, incorporating a higher fat diet really helps you just keep you even keel, sustained overall. You guys have probably been hearing the word ketosis thrown around a lot lately. So we're kind of doing this to really help you guys understand what ketosis is, what what your body does in ketosis state, and how incorporating quality proteins and carbohydrates all blend together. So she's going to be joined, and there she is. So I'm going to go ahead and invite her to the call. Again, if you guys are hopping on with us live, please comment. And if you're watching the replay, drop a 2 so we can give you a shout out. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, how are you?
I am so jazzed to have you on here today, girl. I really am. I'm like giddy over here to have you on. So thank you for doing this today, first and foremost. I truly appreciate your time. I was telling everybody, all of my followers, that you're kind of a big deal.
Not really.
Just a little bit. So, Melissa, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and just kind of give everybody an idea?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Melissa McAllister, who lives in Melissa, Texas. And my husband and I are celebrating our I should know this. I think it's our 23rd anniversary this Sunday.
Congratulations.
So I married my high school sweetheart. Thank you. And we have a 22-year-old son. It is. I still like him. It's shocking. I can still stay in the same room with him after 20. We've been together 27 years, but he's my soulmate. And really, honestly, Rachel, started my whole point of being here started with him, because I ate like crap. I really ate like crap, and he was a healthy, clean eater. And he was the one who kind of inspired me to, attend Arizona State University for my degree in nutrition and to exercise more. So he's kind of the one that created the monster. And
so we can thank him.
You really can. And he would totally take credit for it too. Totally take credit. But I became a fitness instructor, almost 19 years ago. And in the process became one of Chalene Johnson's instructors and then master trainers. And she became my business mentor. And she told me I needed to come up with some sort of freemium to be able to reach more people to help them get healthy and fit. And so we were walking, she called me trying to help me out. And I was walking through the mall here, the Galleria Mall in Texas, which is a big, beautiful mall. And I was just walking laps talking with her. And she's like, you have to come up with something that is kind of different, that'll help you stand out from other people.
Right.
Lots of fitness instructors, lots of people that eat clean. And to not take too long, we finally came up with the fact that I never ate breakfast. I was an intermittent faster for 19 years. Ever since I started teaching classes, I felt better doing it on an empty stomach. And then I would get home, hi Natalia, and then I would get home and I would eat breakfast, and then I'd always be done around 7. So before it was a thing, it was a thing for me. I've been doing it for so long. And so wanting to help other people feel good about themselves and lean and healthy, I started doing my research on intermittent fasting and just found out all the stuff about how good it is for you, aside from helping you, lose weight and be lean, just how it just gets you healthy. And in that process, all the doctors that were touting intermittent fasting were also talking about a higher fat lifestyle. And I was like, okay, okay, because at that point I was kind of paleo. I was still low fat, but I was high protein.
Gotcha.
And I was like, this is interesting to me. So I just about 5 years ago really started diving in to adding more fat into my diet and the benefits of doing that. And that's where the Make Diet came from, which, you know, I've been a Team Beachbody coach for 9 years and a huge fan of Shakeology. You guys, if I could have created a product myself, if I would have had the money and I would have had the lab and I would have had the ability to travel around the world, that is what I would have created.
I agree.
And so for me, it was a matter of how can I, you know, incorporate these healthy fats into my diet, but still make sure that I was healthy, because I see a lot. People will take something that to the extreme. We find out that adding more fat into your diet is actually now healthy. And so people always take that too far, I think. And so now people have decided.
I definitely agree on that.
Right, Rachel?
They're like, wait, let's add high fat. Oh, great. Let's eat all the bacon we can.
Yeah, let's add high fat. No, let's just eat only fat. Let's have nothing but fat. And that's just not, that's not healthy. It really isn't. And it's really taking things too far. And so it's something that, you know, I really want to get out there, is that you can have a very healthy diet that includes lots of healthy fat. But you just can't take it to the extreme. I mean, that's why, you know, Atkins had a great idea as well, that protein was important. And so then for how many years was it high protein diets that they found were, you know, hard on the kidneys and hard on the liver. Ample protein is important, but you don't want to eat nothing but protein. Same thing with fat.
Right. And I think that's a good point, because a lot of people think, you know, hey, I'm going to eat protein and it's going to keep me lean. But there's a whole nother side to that. Just like with, hey, let's do a high fat diet, we're going to eat all the bacon we can. A lot of people just dive in too fast and go full force with it and really aren't educating themselves. And that's another reason why I wanted to have you on here today, because they dive in for the first thing that they see, like, this is going to help, but they really aren't doing the research themselves, and it's breaking my heart. You know, because it's a roller coaster ride of emotion and battle, and I think it's just so important to help people understand really what each level is and how they can benefit, and really, you know, instead of diving in and saying, hey, I'm going to eat all the protein I can.
Yeah, well, people are desperate, and I understand that, because you know, if you look at it, you hear one thing about something, and then, you know, 6 hours later you're on social media and you hear the exact opposite of what you just read. So there's such conflicting information out there about breakfast being the most important meal of the day, eating every 2 to 3 hours, having enough protein, having enough fat. Carbohydrates are good, carbohydrates are bad, that people are just like, I can't take it. So usually if something sounds too good to be true, it is.
Unfortunately, guys, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
And I think people complicate it too much. You guys, our bodies are not complicated. They want to be healthy. They want to be lean. They want to be energetic. They want to feel good.
Yes.
Your body wants to release. If you have extra weight on you, it wants to let it go. But it gets confused because of the crazy things that we do, which, you know, totally make your hormones irregular. And that's the problem there. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to take anything externally in order to get your body to run properly. It just takes really good nutrition. And that means no fake food. I mean, you know, I battle with people that will come to me and say, well, can I have this low carb bread, or can I do these, you know, grain-free chips? And I'm just like, eat real food, things that aren't made, bad food that people are trying to make better. Just think back in the day.
Yes, exactly. Can you repeat that again? Bad food that people are trying to make better. That's all. That's it right there. You nailed it. It's exactly what it is.
And it's not necessary. And even I had blood work done today, Rachel. I'm so excited. I just went live on my page because I'm totally geeking out on the tests that are available these days that you can do. I'll get on my soapbox, so you have to get me off. But there's, you have 2 hormones in your body called ghrelin and leptin, which most people don't even know what they are. They're your satiety hormone and your hunger hormone. And they're really, really important. And I didn't know that you could go to a place like I went to Any Labs now, which is just a franchise. They're in chain malls, and get this test done.
Really?
I think, yeah, people get their insulin levels tested, and that's a
yes,
very
I was
important
just going to say that.
Well, but
right.
if you knew what your ghrelin and your leptin levels were as well, how amazing that would be. Because if you're hungry constantly, then your ghrelin levels might be out of whack. Or if you're leptin, if you're never hungry, I know you're probably like, I wish.
Wow. Now as soon as I hop off, I'm going to be diving into that. Oh my. Yeah, I love learning all the new stuff too. I'm sure we're pretty similar in that sense. I'm a guru for everything. I love learning and educating. And so that was why another reason when you sent me that message, I was like, yes, please, let's do this. Let's get on here. Let's share the knowledge. Because it's just so important, you know, and like you said, everybody is kind of jumping to the next thing because they see it on social media or they've heard. It's just like when I hopped on earlier, I said, hey, I'm sure everybody's hearing the word ketosis or ketones. Yeah. And they're like, it's a butterfly, and they you know, we're just like, oh, look, let's go. But they're not slowing down and educating themselves on it. And I think it's so important.
Right. You know, I just saw, Jennifer, I just saw Jennifer's question, and she was asking about the sugar and Shakeology. My take on that, I have several, and I'm trying to, in my brain, I'm going, which direction do I want to take? The number one thing I want to say is I've been around with Beachbody since the beginning, almost. And I remember the first formula we had was pretty good. And then we tried to reformulate the formula because people were talking about, you know, that there was this ingredient or this ingredient, or they weren't happy with this ingredient. Shakeology then didn't taste that good. There was just something about it. And you're like, oh, my wonderful chocolate shake. And so they reformulated a little bit. You have any idea the amount of whole raw food nutrition that is in Shakeology, and how incredibly hard that is to mask? And I don't care who you are. Don't tell me that if they were to take the little tiny bit of sugar that is in Shakeology out, and you were to taste it, that you would drink it every single day. You wouldn't. So don't tell me that you would. And the little fact that there's just a little bit of sugar in there to make it palatable so you can actually enjoy the chaga, the kale, the spinach, all of those super dense nutrient foods in there on a daily basis, that if it didn't taste like it did, you'd be like, I can't drink this every day. I don't know if you've ever tried, like I just got off the Reset again, and the Power Green shake or shot. Mm-hmm. I can do it for 3 weeks. Yes. I can't do it. I can't do it every, and by the end of that 3 weeks, I'm going, it's so good. It's so good for me. But I look forward to my chocolate shake every single day. And the little tiny bit of sugar, and if you're that afraid of sugar, we got to work on that. It's just a little tiny bit, and outweighs all of the nutrient dense phytonutrients, adaptogens, all that stuff that's in Shakeology so far and beyond outweighs
the tiny bit of sugar. I know. And it's hard because how do we really, I mean, just like you explained it perfectly well right there, but it's like you want to shake somebody when they just they don't hear what you're saying, and you just can't do anything about it. You just keep doing, you know.
Well, it's the craze right now. And I self-experiment all the time.
Me too.
I'm really weird that way, but it's kind of fun. I think in my former life, I was a scientist of some sort, but I went on a diet that was 75 to 85% fat for a whole month.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very
75 to 80%. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 75 to 85% fat. Ridiculous.
How was that?
It's as tough as it gets, honestly, to live. You know, I don't have children at home anymore. My husband and I weren't vacationing at that moment, so I just really buckled down. Wanted to see what that did for, you know, my biomarkers. And fat is healthy for you if you do it correctly. That's a other
video
between you and I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would venture to say that 85% of people are doing it wrong and they're hurting their health. But if you do it correctly, I do think short term it's okay for people, especially people with metabolic syndrome or type 2 diabetes. It can help. But long term, you are missing out on so many micronutrients that you need, that you can get from vegetables, that of course you can get from Shakeology. But any diet that limits your amount of vegetables, red flag. Why would you ever think that you needed to limit your amount of vegetables because it was too many carbs? That is
and that's what blows my mind, because that's what people are listening to, right? And it blows my mind. It's just like, no, we need the vegetables. Your body's thriving off of, just like you were saying, the real food. It's that simple, guys. If you guys are tuning in with us live, comment below, let us know you guys are here. If you have questions, please put those in the comment, because Melissa and I will go back and answer them as well. Shakeology, can we talk about that again really quick?
Sure.
You were talking about the sugar in Shakeology, and I know that kind of sometimes pushes people away, but you were saying how all the ingredients in there completely outweigh the little bitty amount of sugar in there.
It does. And I think, I have,
yes, she's got the guns. I told you guys, Melissa's a big deal over here.
But I have
kind of a big deal. I'm trying to catch up.
No. Oh, nice. Dang, look at you. It's over here. I'll be 44 in February, and I had my body fat done, but with DEXA scan, so it was accurate, and it was 17%. And I always go between 15 and 17% body fat. And I live in a state of what is called nutritional ketosis. And I have one of those little machines, I'll prick my finger, and I'm usually at 0.6 to 0.8, which means that my body is burning fat, but I'm not at the state of where you hear most people will say that you need to be between like 2.5 and 4.5 millimolars on this little machine to be in ketosis and to be burning fat. It's not true. You can be in nutritional ketosis and still give your body carbohydrates, and still give your body especially lots and lots of colorful vegetables. Put in some Shakeology to get the ingredients that you're not going to get at your grocery store.
Right.
Rachel, I always tell people when they say, do I really need to drink the shakes? The first question out of my mouth is, can you tell me what you ate yesterday? I'd like to see the list of food that you had yesterday.
Can I get an amen, Melissa?
Yeah, I want to see all the greens that you had, and I want to see all of the adaptogen mushrooms that you had, and show me all of these superfoods that you had in your diet yesterday. And then I will tell you that you don't need Shakeology.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it takes the burden, absolutely takes the burden out of nutrition. On a daily basis, I still eat very clean, and I bet you I eat 10 times cleaner than you do. You people out there, but I still drink Shakeology because it's my insurance, and I know what's in there. And I really would encourage you to do your homework. If you're like, I don't see the big deal, do your homework.
I agree. And you guys, if you think about it, this is what you're putting in your body, right? And if you're seeing all these things on social media, and you're jumping to the next thing, you're trying the next thing without even doing the research yourself, is sad to me, and it's scary. Like, take the time. It's your body. It's what you're going to put in your body. You've got to take the time to learn and educate yourself on what you're going to use, right? And so I really am so excited to have you on here, because I think this is really going to help just people kind of slow down maybe before they jump to that next thing.
Absolutely. You guys, I can't say it enough. It's not that complicated. Your body, if you're fueling it correctly, and if you're getting off the couch, getting a little sweat on every single day, that is all you need to do to be your absolute best.
Yes.
It's the truth. There's no tricks. There's no shortcuts. It's a lifestyle of healthy food where you can go. I mean, on a daily basis, Mick and I, my husband, we love to travel. There's not a place on the planet that I can't. For me, I have about 65 grams of carbohydrates a day. And Shakeology is 20 of those. Big deal. I still, in the morning, will have a 2-egg omelet stuffed full of vegetables. For lunch, it's a huge salad full of vegetables on top. And for dinner, right, you see the trend here? For dinner, it's a cut of meat and some vegetables. So I have 3 huge servings of vegetables and then Shakeology every single day. There's my daughter.
I love it.
McAllister. That's my baby.
The Shakeology just makes it so easy. And I'm just so thankful that I found Beachbody. You know, I've been in the company for 4 years, and it just has made my life simpler. I'm mama 4, you know, it's my go-to. Oh, wow. And when you see somebody out there struggling, they're like, no, I just don't eat vegetables at all. Just like you said, you ask people, say, you know, tell me what you ate yesterday. Did you even have breakfast? Because the majority of people, they don't have breakfast. I was one of them 4 years ago. I woke up, I was out the door, you know, but this is something that you can take, you know, a supplement breakfast, and it's got all your nutrition, your vegetables. And I mean, come on guys, who's out there actually eating a full plate of vegetables? Melissa is, yes, but the majority of you guys aren't. So we need a little help, right?
Yeah. And the funny thing is though, is that I eat all of my vegetables, and you're not going to get me on my soapbox too bad today, but even the vegetables that I get, we own a commercial property where my daughter happens to be right now that has a produce stand. And he tries his hardest to get the vegetables from local farmers. And it's kind of bare because it's very difficult to find local farmers that have organic food. And even if you do, the selection isn't that big, but what you're going to get most of the time from your grocers or going out to eat are vegetables from soils that are completely depleted, or vegetables that are grown in a greenhouse. So I do my best, but even my best, I don't think is good enough. And so why on earth wouldn't I supplement with something that I know is going to trump all that I do on a daily basis anyway?
I agree 100%. Can we go back to, you were saying, because I was reading about ketosis and ketosis state, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it something, when you wake up in the morning, they were saying without eating food, is that where your ketosis state starts to kick in? Am I wrong? Can you
ketosis happens, it's in a direct reflection with your insulin, and your insulin levels, of course, are at their lowest because you fasted throughout the whole night. And so your insulin levels are really low. And so your human growth hormone is really high at that point, which is a good thing. But also that's when, you know, you're in a state of ketosis because your body is going after the fat stores in your body.
Gotcha. Okay, good. I was reading that this morning, and I was like, you know, everybody's like, well, if you just wake up, then you're in ketosis state. I think a lot of our team also is trying to learn what this ketone and ketosis really is all about. So this is very helpful today. What else, Melissa?
Oh, Kristen, I
see the questions coming in. I can't scroll up on my phones. If you can see them on your computer, go ahead and shoot.
Yeah. She's just commenting about Reese's peanut butter cups and cookies. She just wished they didn't exist. And I totally
agree.
Get that. Yeah. But you know what? One thing, and I was talking with the lady, the lab tech that was taking my blood today, about how she struggles with sugar. And I said, it's a very hard struggle, but you do want to get, you know, the majority of processed sugar out of your diet. And it's going to be very tough in the beginning. And you do have a legitimate detox phase. But once you get it out of your system, you get your taste buds not craving it anymore, your brain not craving it anymore. It's so much easier to live a life, you know, choosing healthier options if you get that out of your system.
Yes. You know, you just reminded me, recently in the last, I would say probably 60 days, I've come across more of my clients for some reason this year, a little more depressed. It seems like they start off and it's their mental state. They're going through either life changes, whatever the case may be. And I'm trying to explain to them that a lot of that is diet. A lot of your emotional chemical imbalance is diet, and they're starting to understand the more, you know, I'm talking about it, and drinking Shakeology, they're realizing their brain is thinking differently, and they're happier, their endorphins are kicking in because they're exercising and everything. But do you have any tips for me even that I can help my clients on with, you know, getting a happier state of mind, you know, through food, through nutrition. Not because I think a lot of them want to maybe go to the doctors and they want to start doing therapy and things like that. And I know a lot of that is unnecessary.
Right. I just said it a couple of hours ago. I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that food can heal, yes. That you can heal yourself with food. And the big pharma companies are so about profit. I'm not saying that you're going to be misdiagnosed, but the diagnosis with most doctors is going to be, you know, something pharmaceutical.
Yes.
For one, you know, doctors aren't really trained in nutrition at all. And two, there's no money in that for them, sadly to say. So that's always going to be their first go-to. I just would encourage you, if you don't feel 100% yourself, and this is going to be a total plug, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
Don't apologize, girl.
I'm not apologizing for it. I really think you need to get in contact with a coach, because a coach is going to help you find a fitness program that you actually enjoy doing. And that's gonna make you feel better instantly, feel better about the way you look, the way you feel. Your clothes are gonna fit better. You're gonna see yourself in the mirror in a new light. And then they're also gonna help you eat better. And yes. What do you have to lose? Instead of going to the doctor, putting yourself on, you know, some sort of medication that has a list this long of side effects, but it's going to fix this one thing. But
yeah, exactly.
And you're going to get all these things because of the one thing it's going to fix. Give exercise and diet a try. Give it a try. I would bet you, my beautiful daughter right there named Taylor McAllister, I would give her to you. She makes great coffee, to be your slave for a year. If I am wrong, that fitness and nutrition do not make you feel 100% whole again.
I agree 100% on that. And that's why I, you know, asked that, because we get a lot of that. I get a lot of people that are just so mentally sad and depressed lately. And I know it has a lot to do with, you know, what's going on in their lives. But honestly, you guys, I feel the same way Melissa does. It really is your diet, your exercise, that changes everything. And I think you owe it to yourself. We owe it to ourselves to take that step back and do exercise and do eat right before you jump the gun and go get on a pill somewhere. Because just like Melissa said, you take that one pill that's going to take away that one thing, but it's going to give you so many extra things that you don't need. And it's that vicious cycle. And it's so sad that that's the way that the world works. But I think we could prevent that ourselves, honestly.
Yeah, and you know that you say vicious cycle. Every year, more and more people are getting on statins, and more people are getting on insulin. More and more people are getting on antidepressant medication. That is a cycle, and it's because of what we're doing is inadvertently teaching our children. So you break the cycle. You know, you put your health and your well-being in your own hands and show them that you spend, you know, 20, 30, 40 minutes a day, most days a week, moving your body. And just making healthier meals, not going through the drive-through. You can go to Whole Foods, which is just as fast as a McDonald's drive-through, and go into their hot bar and get yourself some healthy food and take it home. So just be that example to your children and stop the vicious cycle of pharmaceuticals being the answer to people looking and feeling better, because it's not.
Absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned that. I just started the program, Double Time with my daughter, and we're documenting her journey. And so I'm super excited about that. She's doing the daily sunshine, and she's making a point of eating her vegetables, and it's been fun. So off of what you said, it does start at home. Healthy starts at home, and we have to change that cycle. We've got to be the ones, if you know, you're the parents. In fact, we were at leadership, and I loved when Autumn Calabrese got up there and she was like, listen, you're the parents. They eat what you give them, right? I love that.
True.
It's the truth. And, you know, we don't want to believe it, but that it is what it is. And we've got to acknowledge that, right? And be the ones to change that. So, well, Melissa, I don't want to keep you on here all day, because I seriously could. Is there anything else that you want to touch on? You've been a coach for how long?
9 years.
9 years.
9
years. Yes.
Yeah. Super long.
You're loving it. I love it.
I do. I'm more passionate about it today than I was when I started, and I've just seen the trend. You know, trends come and go. From 9 years ago to today, the things that come out that people, you know, jump on because of the false promises, just fuels my passion to get the word out there that you know, it's your responsibility to take care of yourself, and you will never ever be able to get away from good nutrition and some good old-fashioned exercise to make yourself healthy. There's nothing out there that you can do to avoid that. And you know, what angers me the most is so many companies I have seen come and go that create a product that gives you permission to eat less than perfect. They tell you, if you do this or you have this, that it's okay that you have this and this and this. Sugar feeds cancer, period. Bottom line. Too much sugar in your diet feeds disease. And you are either in the state that you are right now, how you're eating is either feeding disease or it is combating disease. There's no middle ground. Your body just doesn't sit there and sit idly by. You're either creating disease that you are going to have to deal with in the future, your family's going to have to deal with in the future, or you're combating it, and you are going to set an amazing example for other people who need to learn how to take their health and fitness into their own hands. So there's no middle ground. Get it. Get on that side.
Get on that side. And you know, the amazing thing about that is you literally just have to step onto that side, guys. Like you're the only one that's getting in the way. You're getting in your own way. If you're listening, if you're hearing it with anything that we're saying today, and you're out there and you may be struggling and you are procrastinating on getting started, you absolutely have no clue how to get started, please reach out to us. Let us help you. Let us educate you some more. We're going to be doing a lot more of these one-on-one live calls. I'm hoping to get some other people on here as well that can really touch on these topics. Melissa, I love you to death, and I'm so thankful to have you on here today. I appreciate your time so much.
You're welcome. I was really flattered by the invitation.
Did we cut now? Oh no, am I losing you? Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, good. It got choppy for a second. You guys, if you have any questions, please comment below for either of us, and we'll go back through this and answer them as best we can. And next Tuesday, we'll be hopping on again at 11. All right, you guys? Anything else?
No, it's great to see how your faces scroll by. You guys have a super happy
I love it. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.